Thank you so much for tuning in to the Geek Garage Podcast.
You're damn right.
Episode number 10. Hey, Andrew, guess what we made? Oh, my God. Andrew, guess what? We made it to episode number 10. I'm so excited.
Did we make it? Did we make it?
We made it.
We made it to episode 10.
Yes. Sorry,
Man.
I'm overflowing.
And
with
now
excitement.
we need to pull a Dexter and just make it all go downhill from here.
You mean like sabotage ourselves?
Yeah, just make the rest of the show bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, from here on out, I'm just going to pull down my pants
Lumberjack.
and put my ass.
I'm gonna be a lumberjack now.
And I'm gonna kill the people that I work with.
Off screen.
You know what? They should fucking make a show out of that where he kills people with like lumberjack equipment. Like he takes them into the woods, be like, hey, we gotta go cut down this tree, just you and me, and then takes the fucking chainsaw.
Hey.
He doesn't even have to bother with the table or anything.
We need to go out into the woods. I have a tree to cut down. I need your help. Then you get out there. So, you like fondling cats, do you? What? What are you talking about, Morgan? Yeah. No, I know. Mr. Giggles. Fondled all over him. We'll fondle this asshole.
Ring, ding, 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 ding. Hey, you want to hear my impression of Bob Dylan and his chainsaw?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Ring, ring.
That was
so bad.
It was like accurate though. You know?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You don't even have the opportunity to laugh because you're like, oh, that's true.
That's what it is.
That's true. That's exactly what it is. Anyways, Andrew, you had the bright fucking idea for this episode. Why don't you tell the good folks at home about what we're going to talk about today?
Well, I thought we would talk about all the Marvel MCU villains that we have seen and just kind of go through. I've got a list that I took. Sounds great.
I can't wait.
Now, I've got a list of all the villains from the MCU, and I've just thought it'd be fun to go through them and talk about each one of them, and just fucking talk about comic book villains. That's the point.
We kind of have a couple different points that we want to get to. One of them, we just like to kind of do a quick run through of all the villains that we've seen so far from the MCU, and plus we'll have more points on top of that, which we'll get to after the list. If you'd like to read along with the list, are we going with the BuzzFeed one?
Yes, I got the BuzzFeed one.
Okay. It's say whatever you want about BuzzFeed. It's garbage. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's garbage.
They can make the shit out of a list, though.
Whatever you want to say, they can make the shit out of a list. So this is the list that we got. We're going off of. We'll post the link for this list in the comment section, so if you want to read along, you can. Andrew, who is the suckiest Marvel villain we have seen thus far, according to the brilliant journalists over at BuzzFeed?
Well, according to them and my own opinion, that would be Malekith from Thor: The Dark World.
That fuckbag.
This guy is as entertaining as a paper towel. Like, he just is.
Well, I mean, compared to like a Costco brand,
like store brand, great value. You blow like part of your nose possibly onto it, and it just explodes.
Because if it's like the Viva brand or Brawny, then you got to up your game.
Viva paper towels is
just
like
fantastic.
It's like each tissue is just like a silk satin sheet.
Yes.
It's just wonderful.
I mean, that's like ass wiping paper towels right there.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'd be absolutely confident cleaning my underside with that.
Exactly.
Honestly, why do we even use bed sheets at this point? Just tape together a bunch of those and just furnish your entire house with them.
Anyways, back to the list.
Anyway, the list. Malekith is a big pile of dog shit. He is, well, for someone that comes out and is like, I am going to destroy the entire fucking universe and turn it into darkness, and it's all gonna suck. It's like, whoa.
Hey, buddy, you're like 5'1". Exactly how much damage are you gonna do?
Well, cause I'm
gonna
get this red stuff. It's real strong. And it's a Natalie Portman now. Fuck, I can't get it. He's just to have him in the same movie as someone who we're going to talk about later, as Loki.
Right.
And just, you've got this charming, kick-ass, like, Loki. We've already seen Loki a couple times, with the Avengers and in the first Thor. And then so he's all cool. When compared to just, I am the bad guy, and I am going to win, and the universe will be all darkness. It's like, did you get your idea for your evil plan from, like, every Saturday morning cartoon villain ever? Like, what were you thinking? Where did they touch you, Malekith? Where did they touch you? What happened? So, he just, I don't know, I don't have a whole lot to say other than he was fucking boring. He looks cool. There's a positive.
He does look really cool.
He's a dark elf.
Yeah, he is an elf and he is dark. But I could literally see Loki doing one of these numbers where you hold his head far enough out from your body where he's swinging.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you, and he can't fucking reach you because he's too small.
Like, the whole time, I'm like, Thor, just crack his fucking head open like an egg and move on.
Yeah, the movie would have lasted like 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't like that one as much. So
I personally like the movie. We're not here to judge the movies on this episode. We've done that in the past. Here we're strictly talking about villains, from the sucky ones to the good ones.
The thing is honestly, Malekith could have been, if there was something to do with, like, I'm going to bring the Dark Elves back and we're going to invade, well, actually, at the beginning, they do go into Asgard and straight up fucking kill Thor's mom. Like, that happens, so, like, there was, you're thinking, like, okay, like, killing the mom, he's pretty evil, all right, and then just the rest of it was just, I'm going to talk a lot about darkness. Darkness. Anyway, he's as boring as my explanation is because I just hate him. So
good story.
Yeah.
Next on the list is Vice President Rodriguez, who
man.
I totally forgot. So yeah, that gives you a clue as to how effective he was as a villain.
Was so bad that he made not Iron Man wear an Iron Man suit so he could kill him.
Yeah.
He helped Killian do it. He's
the one with the granddaughter in a wheelchair.
I mean, yes, he wanted the extremist virus so that hopefully his granddaughter could be healed of all her ailments and things like that. But It was just, I don't fucking know.
Ineffective.
Yeah. Moving on. I don't. This guy, Mitchell Carson, high-ranking S.H.I.E.L.D. official who's actually a Hydra. Yeah, he sucks. He wants the Ant-Man thing, and good job. He gets punched in the face by the digitally altered Michael Douglas at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Good job. Moving on.
Georges Baterick.
Good old Batrock.
Is that how you say it?
I'm thinking...
It's not Georges? It's not Georges
I just call him Batrock.
I was trying to be funny and failed, and yep, here we go.
All right.
Yep.
This is a guy who was neat for about 2 seconds. He got a couple of good kicks. He loves his kicks.
Yes, he demonstrated his abilities for a couple seconds. His abilities in kicking and punching and possibly parkour.
Their fight was like watching two people play Street Fighter, and one of them is really fucking good, and the other one just knows how to do the kick
It's
button.
like a Street Fighter fight between me and you. Where I get a few lucky punches in because I'm just fucking button mashing on the controller, and you're not expecting like I do a weird combo that I didn't mean to do because I'm button mashing, and you're like, you motherfucker!
And then I just come back at you with all the fury of 1,000 suns.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then I die. So that's basically that scene.
That's what happens. Captain America, like after a couple of hits, he's like, okay, fuck this guy. And then he promptly fucks that guy.
Right.
Not literally. If you want that, go to Brazzers.com. Anyway, moving on.
Is that how you say that?
Huh?
I thought it was Brazzers, but that's like Dairy Queen, right?
David, I don't know what you're talking about. Is that a pornographic website? Shame on you. I would never. Moving on. So Whiplash. Talk to me about Whiplash, Dave.
Whiplash.
Iron Man 2.
I really liked Iron Man 2. I still like Iron Man 2. I understand that it's probably the least liked out of all the Iron Man movies, but I still really, really enjoy it. It definitely took me this long and getting to this point of like critiquing Marvel villains to realize that Whiplash wasn't really an effective villain. I liked Mickey Rourke as Ivan Vanko. He was like... Ivan Vanko was a cool character in my opinion, but Whiplash, he had some like electrical strings that he just, and then like the best part about him was that for a few seconds he built a bunch of robots. So he kind of had Ultron's plan before Ultron came along.
Yeah. I build drone.
Drone better. Drone better. Why is drone better? All right, I'll get you your fucking bird. I don't speak Russian.
We'll get to him for sure. But
yeah, sorry, that's
the setup for Whiplash was fine. I mean, it was he was the son of a former partner of Howard Stark.
Yeah, he definitely had. I like that part of it. I liked his motivation to be
personal vendetta. His father was, kind of cut out of the action of all the stuff that Stark eventually would accomplish, and so I was digging that. He's looking at Tony and he's like, man, fuck this dude, and that was cool. Like I dug that, kind of like a revenge, family honor kind of thing for his father. The fact that he could build the arc reactor also,
right?
So this is where here's my question: you built the fucking arc reactor, the same power source that enables Iron Man to make his badass suit, and you made whips. I'm gonna get him with these whips. I come to you, I'm extremely scary. Get ready to feel mild annoyance on arms and legs. You won't even know what to do. You come, oh look, he's got a big gun. I go, whoosh, you feel that? It's not good.
I can be very irritating if need be.
Yes, I don't, and I won't leave. I stay here.
Keep doing it.
And I just keep whipping at you.
Whip it real good.
It's like as soon as he was able, he gets his ass beat both times. Like the first time Iron Man deploys his fucking briefcase suit, and the minute he's got his regular shit, he just beats his ass. Right. And then later on, I build bigger whip suit. And that's the other thing too. It's like you finally built kind of like an Iron Man suit. You're in the right direction. Nope, you still got fucking whips. No, all right.
Well, I mean, his suit was able to deflect hammer tech equipment.
Well, yeah, because that shit sucks. But then fucking Tony's like, I'm gonna blow this guy the fuck up, and he does.
Right.
So again, just kind of like, okay, you got your little whips. Good job. I don't know. Not as cool as it could have been.
Yeah. Moving on.
The guy, what's his fucking name?
Algrim / Curse. I totally forgot about this.
I did too. Again, a forgettable. He's in Thor: The Dark World, almost as forgettable as his
Malekith.
boss. But he's big and scary when he's got his armor thing on.
Yeah, his armor is it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I will give him that. Yeah. But
looks as cool as it did in Skyrim. It's just the Daedric armor from Skyrim. Fucking look at it. Anyway,
it kind of is. All right, Korath, and this is literally the first time I'm hearing this dude's name because I don't. Does anyone refer to him using his name?
I don't remember.
I mean, I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy probably more than I've seen any other Marvel movie. And I don't remember anyone referring to this dude by his name.
Well, now he's got a name, so that's good.
Yes. But you know what? He has his face / head thing ripped off by Drax, screaming, "Finger to the throat means death."
I mean, he was okay.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really do much.
He's not the main villain. He's just an antagonist.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he does deserve to be on this list, but he definitely deserves his number 38 spot.
Yes, he does.
So.
Coming in at number 37 is the Abominable Snowman, also known
with
as
abs of steel.
King Laufey from Thor.
Him and Dr. Manhattan should have a swinging dick contest to see who's got the bigger schlong, because
God.
Dr. Manhattan might have him beat.
Yeah, because he can just get bigger. Like, he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
No, this guy was only in the movie for a little while. He's like, I'm the leader of the Frost Giants.
It's kind of like, look over here. These are going to be the bad guys of Thor. Oh, just kidding.
No, just kidding. It's Loki. Of course,
Yeah.
It's fucking Loki.
Yeah,
It has to be.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next on this list is
Raza.
Now, the terrorist leader guy from the first Iron Man, who honestly was, while he's stuck in the cave base with all of them, I mean, he's kind of creepy. He's scary because here's this extremist, man who, if you don't build this weapon for him, he's just gonna fucking execute you on camera. Like, that's gonna happen.
Right.
So, I mean, that he, to me, well, not just to me, on purpose, sorry, his purpose was that establishment of Iron Man. I mean, in the old original comic book version, Iron Man, Tony gets stuck in the middle of the Vietnam War, and that's how, and then he builds this suit in the similar fashion where he's in a POW camp type of thing, and then just do it to more keeping up with the times where he's in the Middle East with a group of
Makes
people.
more sense.
Yeah, just kind of keeps up with it. But I mean, he was creepy to start for sure. I mean, it's not like he was going to be the main for the whole thing, but he definitely was a good first villain for old Tony. So
Yeah. Next we got Strucker, who was he was menacing for about 2.5 seconds. Then he became a giant pussy in the beginning of Civil War.
I was
not Civil War, Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. I was completely shocked in how short his screen time was.
Yeah, me too. I thought with the cut scene or post-credit scene that was given to us in, was it the Winter Soldier? I think it was the Winter Soldier.
Oh God, I can't believe I don't remember.
Well, we're talking about him, and that is the first time you see the twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Winter Soldier.
Okay, cool.
Either way, we're referring to that cut scene where we were introduced to Strucker, and we're under the impression that he's definitely going to have a bigger part than he did in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So that was a little disappointing, honestly.
He gets immediately done, like just done.
Right, he just gives himself up, which was also very surprising. Anyways, moving on, Darren Cross / Yellow Jacket.
My suit is better than your suit, and Michael Douglas won't give me a hug.
This dude definitely.
I fucking hated him, David. I'm sorry.
No,
I did not like him at all.
I mean, he was an okay villain, but he was the biggest fucking crybaby.
God, he would not shut up.
Like, I honestly, I need to go back and rewatch Ant-Man. I loved Ant-Man.
No, I was a fan of Ant-Man, but his constant, am I better than him yet? Am I better than him yet? I'm smarter than him. Did you know how much smarter I am than him? My suit's yellow and his is red. Yellow is a brighter color. That's what most people say. Also, I'm a yellow jacket. I can sting you.
I'm gonna sting you with my
sting you with my stinger.
Oh no, stung myself. Bye, world.
I'm actually really glad that he was put on a microscopic like when Ant-Man just like, I'm gonna shrink the shit out of you at the end. I'm like, all right, good. He needs to not talk anymore. So, which is a shame because who is that? Corey Stoll? That's the actor. I don't know anything about that guy, but apparently people like him. So
yeah, he's been in other movies.
I'm sure if he got in this one, it's not like I can be Yellow Jacket in a movie.
I mean, you'd probably play a better Yellow Jacket than him.
Maybe I wouldn't whine.
Yeah.
Or maybe the script said whine a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Moving on to Brant.
She bitch.
Yes. She was kind of a badass for the short period of time that she was on screen. She had that really funny line that she said to Tony Stark that I can't fucking remember. It was like, a cheap trick and a one-liner, and he says, "Honey, that could be the name of my autobiography."
Yeah. She was just one of the first things that you got to see what extremists looked like when they use it.
And then she saw death by microwave.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Man, the microwave should be on the Avengers. Introducing the Incredible Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, and Microwave.
Careful, don't put forks in there.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? You know what happens when you put a fork in your microwave?
Fork.
Beep. Beep. Time to make popcorn. I don't know, man.
All right.
I'm stretching.
Cool
Then you got
story.
the other extremist guy, freaking Savin, who just I will say this about him in that movie.
He really likes to chew bubblegum.
Well, he does. But I was gonna say that he pops up enough and fucks things up for Tony enough in that movie where I was like, okay, I really want this motherfucker to die now.
To me, he was a more effective villain than Aldrich Killian.
Really?
By a little bit, because he was in those movies. Sorry, regather my thoughts. In movies where the person, fuck, what am I trying to think?
Maybe like
the bad guys first in command.
Okay.
Where you have like your James Bond movies where James
so
Bond
there's-
takes like half to 3/4 of the movie facing the second in command.
so somebody like Jaws or Odd Job or whatever.
That proves to be almost just as much as an adversary to the main villain in the Bond movie. He is that person to me.
That's a really good comparison there.
Yeah, because he spends almost the entire movie not trying to defeat this person, but by the time he defeats this guy, the movie only has like a half hour left in it. So to me, he was. To me, he was a more effective villain.
Well, he's definitely more present. I mean, he gets into more altercations with Tony or
Right.
any of them than
his
Killian
fucking
does.
airplane scene was kind of epic.
Yeah, that was great.
He killed a lot of people on that airplane.
Yeah, he did.
Actually, did he? I mean, a lot of people, all the people that flew out of the airplane alive.
Oh, I thought, did he not, when he
Well,
took
I mean,
over the airplane?
I think he shot people on the airplane, didn't he?
I don't know, man. I don't remember.
It's been a while since I've seen that one. We should move on before we falsely state things about this guy.
I'm pretty sure he fucked a guy. That's what he did with his big fire penis. I think that is exactly what happened in that scene.
What if him and Dr. Manhattan intertwined?
What is
their
it with
penis?
you and Dr. Manhattan and his penis, man?
I just watched Watchmen the other day.
Oh, did you jerk to it or something? Like what?
No, I just that movie is just full of big blue penis. Small penis, big penis.
This
blue
episode
penis.
brought to you by Big Blue Penis.
It's kind of like Blue Apron.
Speaking of giant dicks, Dormammu from Doctor Strange.
He is just a giant. If he wasn't a head, he'd be a dick.
Well, he is an omnipotent being, and granted, you only got to see him for a little bit, so I'm sure that's not the last we'll see of Dormammu.
Dormammu.
I've
come to strike a bargain.
Yeah.
Dormammu.
A lot.
I'm gonna keep on doing this until you cave in.
No, but that will be someone. It's hard to dive into his presence in the MCU right now because he was only in it for a little bit, and he was more the ever looming, scary presence in the background, kind of similar to what Thanos is to the Avengers. This is what Dormammu is to the Doctor Strange movie and sequels that I'm sure he'll get. Where this bad thing is coming and we gotta beat him. So. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get more of Dormammu later. But he is, if they ever take him all the way, he is fucking terrifying. He's pretty, he can do whatever he wants.
I mean, he's got face ripples.
Mm-hmm.
That ripple all over the place.
Yeah, and he's also Benedict Cumberbatch. So it's going to be Benedict Cumberbatch versus Benedict Cumbersnatch.
Squish.
Yeah.
Bandicoot Cumbersnitch.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Benedict.
Anyway.
Benedict Arnold.
Next on the list is Emil Blonsky or Abomination from The Incredible Hulk, who actually, I really fucking liked him.
I did too.
I liked him more as not the Abomination. I liked him better when he was just because I really liked Tim Roth anyway, the actor. He does a great performance here, and as the list, the opinion that this list gives, and I share that as well, is
looks like we got a vigilante in our midst, honey bunny. Shoot him in the face.
That whole thing.
He's gonna go down in my history as the guy from Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, well he's also in 3 Rooms, 4 Rooms. That's a movie Tarantino directed. One of the it's an anthology film, and Tarantino.
Yeah,
did
I know
part
what you're
of that.
talking about. I haven't seen it.
He's a Tarantino reg.
I think he wasn't he in the first one too, the first Tarantino movie.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
he's totally in that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I really liked him as Blonsky. I mean, an aging soldier who doesn't want to give up the good old days and his abilities.
And so he gives himself a little injection.
Well, Thunderbolt Ross gives him a version of the super soldier serum.
Right. And then he's able to run really fast.
That scene, though, where he is trying to fight the Hulk when he's still in human form and, like, his jumps and things like that, I'm like, this is like a bad Cirque du Soleil situation happening. Look at my crazy wire fighting moves. That's what that looked like to me. But his performance was good, and he was, and as the Abomination, I mean, once he started ripping shit apart, he was like, I'm just gonna fucking kill everybody. I don't even care.
Right.
So he was scary. He was effective.
Yep.
So Jasper Sitwell, also known as the guy that they threw off a roof in Captain America.
Right.
He's just there. Good old.
Yeah, the first movie we saw him in was what was it? Was it the first? It wasn't the first Captain America, was it?
I don't remember.
We saw. I think in the description it says we saw him in another movie first. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass.
I don't remember where he would have appeared before that, but
we thought he was a good guy, and turns out that he was a bad guy, and of course he's a giant fucking pussy. So
yeah, and then his line in Captain America: The Winter Soldier teased the existence of Stephen Strange because he was one of the people on that hit list. Mm-hmm. So whatever, cool. All right, you're not as neat as the other people are.
Right.
Moving on. The next one here is Heinz Kruger, who is the guy from the first Captain America movie that shoots Stanley Tucci.
And that's all he's known for.
And I'm like, you son of a bitch, I like that bald asshole.
I like Stanley Tucci and like most of the
stuff he's in. He's just, look at Stanley Tucci.
How dare you shoot Stanley Tucci is an American treasure. It was really funny in that movie Easy A. He's like hashtag dad goals.
The only reason to watch The Hunger Games. The only one.
Actually, his character in that movie, he's
weird.
Probably gay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, him and Dr. Manhattan's big blue penis would get along.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think him and everyone else in the Capitol is gay, because of what I mean. It looks like when they are shooting that show, when they have all the people on for the Hunger Games, and you get the shots of the audience, it looks like everyone attending Liberace's funeral.
That's funny.
That's exactly what it looks like. Oh, you're like, God. All right, well, this is a Liberace funeral.
Hey, you say a Liberace funeral as if there's been multiple.
Because
Liberace has come back in another form.
That's the kind of funeral that I want to have. First, I want to be strapped to a block of C4, lit, and then tossed out of an airplane so that all my body parts end up in like people's pools and stuff. And then I want people to gather me up and bring me back together, then cremate me, and then have a memorial service where everyone dresses as like Liberace.
Oh my God.
Slash people from
I just imagined like your left leg like dropping in on someone's fucking like family barbecue.
Honey, I love our family gatherings. They long for the days where the only thing they had to worry about was the blue ice falling out of the fucking airplane.
And not just someone's left leg. Oh my god.
It hits little Johnny in the fucking pool.
Little Johnny, I'm so proud of you, son. Graduating from college. Oh man, please have this hot. Oh my god!
My son got kicked in the face by a dead guy.
Oh my god, he's dead! Oh shit. After that.
That would be pretty epic. Sorry.
Oh man. Fucking.
I don't want to leave this in this totally made up scenario where my dead body manages to kill someone.
Your head crashes through the set of a children's television show being filmed. Like live. It's like the only live episode of Sesame Street ever done. And like Big Bird's dancing and just your head fucking lands on, no, better yet, the fucking Cookie Monster's got his little table and he's like eating cookies and your head just lands on the plate.
Oh, shit.
One of your eyeballs shoots directly at the fucking camera. Oh my god.
Well, and people
Katy
say...
Perry's boobs are the least of their worries now on Sesame Street.
People say we get off topic. I don't believe
Oh,
them.
they're full of shit.
They are. Anyways.
Yeah, moving on. Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, he's cool. He's the bad guy from the Incredible Hulk, and then he becomes Secretary of State, and he's in Captain America: Civil War. He's
That
the
is
one...
that is like a true American dream story where you start out the bad guy and then you get promoted inside the government.
And you're still the bad guy.
Yeah. I can't think of anything.
I mean,
like that.
Ross's true villainy is just in the fact that he is selfishly motivated. He wants the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
Because he wants to weaponize him, / just be able to make another one. And now in the comic books, he actually becomes the Red Hulk. He does become a Hulk.
I did not know that.
Yes, that happens. But,
I appreciate you filling me in on all this comic book nomenclature.
yes,
because
good name, good word there.
$10 words. My name is $10 words, David. Actually, it's not. It's Philip.
Well, does Philip want to keep going?
Yes,
Okay.
Philip does.
All right, good. But his
Ronan the Accuser.
oh god,
I like Ronan the Accuser. He takes that dude's head in the very beginning and twists it around for making him unhappy for a couple seconds.
yeah.
What was he? He wasn't part of the Chitauri, was he?
No.
The guy that he twists his head around and breaks his neck.
I don't know if he.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I don't remember the guy he kills.
I thought he was part of the Chitauri, but I
Oh
could
wait,
be wrong.
yeah. When he's talking to Thanos.
Yeah, he's talking to Thanos.
Yeah, that
and-
is a Chitauri. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm not crazy. I know things sometimes.
He to me is just, I am once again the bad guy. And you know this because of the way that I talk, and I desire power and to destroy the world. In this case, it's Nova, not Earth, and I don't like them. I don't understand dancing for some reason.
What are you doing?
Thwart-
Dance off, bro.
What are you doing? Obviously, I'm not being distracted by you. Nothing escapes my all-powerful fuck that's a nuke. You destroyed me with the very thing that I liked to hold in my hammer. Oh, I'm blue. You can tell that I'm bad now because my eyes have black makeup on them.
I'm friends with Dr. Manhattan.
I am totally friends with Dr. Manhattan.
Simply because we're blue people. Shall we move on to the next person?
Of course we. That's it. And I like the actor that
Do
plays
the rest
him.
of the rest of the.
Oh, I'm Ronan the Accuser. I accuse you of being not blue like me. Therefore, I'm going to kill you. Thanos! I am so stupid that I'm going to yell at you now. You and your stupid little floaty chair. Fuck you. God, I'm like, now I'm going to love hate him because I like making fun of him so much.
Thanos, Do you know why I like to buy margarine at the grocery store?
It's lower in calories than butter.
False! It's margarinely cheaper than butter.
Oh! I'm so evil that I like to cut in line at the bank. I am so evil that I make scenes 98% longer than they need to be.
I'm so terrible that Maya Hansen scored higher than me on this list.
God damn it. That bitch! I should hit her with my big-ass hammer. Yeah, she was the bitch that Tony fucked at the beginning of Iron Man 3, and then turns out she likes to help the bad guy.
Yep.
That's her. That's all I got.
That's all I got, too.
Like
she kind of... whatever.
I like plants. That's her.
Yeah, she did like plants. And that's about it.
Yep, good job.
Yep. 24 on this list is Thanos. Or Thanos, whatever. I believe that he scores this low because he really hasn't done much yet.
Yep, he's just been sitting in his chair being menacing, looking like he's thinking about a lot. Although we did finally see in that after credit scene, he gets his gauntlet and he's like, I'm gonna kick their fucking ass now. So, he's ready to rumble.
Yep.
So
I'm excited to see that shit go down.
I mean, Thanos, obviously, that's going to be our big bad going into Avengers Infinity War. And if it's anything like the comic book, he's going to just fucking kill everyone.
People are going to die
we'll see.
a lot.
We'll see.
23, we got Senator Stern, played by Gary Shandling. Rest in peace.
The late, great Gary Shandling. God, he would talk to you for so long.
Would he? Did he talk to you for so long?
No, he never talked to me. That was a joke. I think it was The Simpsons that made that joke where he, as like a talk show guest, he would just not shut the fuck up or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, I loved his character in the Iron Man series.
I did too.
That douchebag senator guy that tries to keep Tony down, and the little rivalry that existed between him and Tony was great. And then to make him a Hydra person was like, oh, it's fucking great.
I mean, it was it wasn't really he wasn't an effective villain, but he was kind of like a fun little part of the villainy part of the Hydra series that went on through those couple of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So
I loved him.
Yeah, great addition, and once again, rest in peace. 22 is Taserface. Taserface! Unfortunately, Andrew doesn't get this as of the recording of this episode
I haven't
because
seen the fucking movie
he
yet.
hasn't seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 yet.
Yeah, I'm a big piece of shit.
I love that Taserface is on this this list. I wish I could. Does it go into detail in this? Yeah, it does kind of go into detail. So you would have. He kills quite a few people during a mutiny of during Volume 2. But there is a very funny interaction between him and Rocket that I will not spoil for you, but it is definitely one of the funnier points of this movie that breaks up the it comes as kind of like comic relief because at this point of the movie it's getting kind of serious, so yeah, it kind of comes as a comic relief, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, I'm glad to see him on the list because he did have his moment in the sun. Anyways,
Dr. Arnim Zola, and I'm going to just go ahead and combine.
This is the human version,
but
non-computerized.
He becomes a computer, and we'll just talk about both. He is the tiny guy that works for Hydra with the Red Skull, and he's like, we're going to make the world belong to us. And then he kind of sucks in that movie. But once he becomes the computer, he develops the formula that eventually becomes Hydra's greatest secret weapon, which being let's take over S.H.I.E.L.D., and take over the helicarriers and basically have this predisposed list of people that we're just going to fucking kill that could be a threat to us. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he thought of something that sinister is pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I mean, he's 21 on this list. Do you think that he deserves to be a little bit higher? Or do you think he deserves the 21 spot?
I don't think he does. I think he deserves to be way lower on this list. It's not like he directly
Lower, as in like he's less of a threat.
I'm saying he needs to be even lower. Like he needs to be down towards the bottom, in my opinion, because
Bottom is in like closer to 1, or bottom is in closer to 40.
to Malekith.
Okay.
Yeah, closer to the bad part of things, because his only, as far as the movie is concerned, his only real contribution to the whole thing was coming up with that formula for what would become Hydra's weapon. And I mean, granted, he did work in secret. You know, there are things that are not seen that are just explained to you, that, you know, he was welcome in as a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he truly worked for Hydra the entire time, and then they came up with that algorithm to kill everybody. But he personally does not, like, do anything.
Right.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where if he was just in human form standing there next to Captain America, one swift kick to the jaw and this dude's fucking dead. So.
True. All right. Well, let's see. The other?
Yeah, he's that dude that just gives Loki the army of Chitauri, and then...
I'm pretty sure
And then I totally snapped his neck! Ha ha!
Yeah, this is the dude
Ronan the Accuser is back! I am so evil that I fuck other villains up! You guys know what he's called? He doesn't even have a name. You know why? Because I'm too cool for him. He's the other. That's what he's called, and I broke his fucking neck. All right? That's
Good times.
That's all that happens. That's it.
That's his legacy that he leaves behind.
He talks to Thanos a little bit, and Thanos gives him a little grin.
Yeah.
And then
And then he's dead.
And then I totally hurt him a lot.
Next on the list, at number 19, is Caecilius.
There we go. There's a good old villain.
From Doctor Strange.
Dr. Strange.
I love this villain.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Because not too many Marvel movies out there have started out with the fucking main villain going nuts, and that's exactly what this dude does. Is he comes into the Enchanted Library, whatever it's called, and just they neatly place a giant cauldron on the floor, pick up this dude, and just cut the dude's head off.
Oh yeah. Not only that, he kills the fucking what's her fuck, the ancient one.
Yeah.
Just Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of
But
the
I'm just
actress's
that's badass though. Here's a villain that comes in, cuts a fucking dude's head off to sacrifice to Dormammu to get special powers and shit, and he's got the weird things on his eyes, and he is leading a magical revolution against his master, who was the Ancient One.
Yeah.
Steals all the special spell books and shit like that, and then fucking exposes that bitch because she was using the same fucking powers as he was, and then he fucking kills her. And had it not been for Doctor Strange getting the Eye of Agamotto, he blew up all the fucking shrines that protected the world from Dormammu fucking everything up. So, like, dude was doing shit, you know? Truly effective and terrifying villain, and more than a match for Doctor Strange. I mean, he fucking kicked the shit out of him earlier in the movie until Strange put that little bondage thing on him. And then that's when he was like, so, now that I've got you like this, I'd like to introduce you to the newest member of the Avengers, Christian Grey. I've got very particular tastes, because they're like...
No, I like him because he does have a small posse, but he actually does stuff instead of like sending lackeys to like.
He's very personally involved in all the villainy that takes place.
And that's why I appreciated him.
You know why I like him? He's got black stuff on his eyes. You can totally tell he's a bad guy.
A good guy wouldn't have black stuff on their eyes.
No, they wouldn't.
Except for those fine gentlemen in the NFL. You literally have nothing to say to that because that is the dumbest shit I've ever said. I am so sorry for saying that.
Oh my god.
18, Dr. Samuel Stearns. totally forgot about this guy and his existence because it's been a while since I've seen the Incredible Hulk.
Well, he's the dude that tries to help Bruce cure the Hulk part in him. Doesn't work, and then
Right.
he just straight up oh, fuck it, gives the fucking blood to Blonsky to turn him into the Abomination, and then ends up getting some on him too. And now we haven't seen what he'll eventually turn into. But if you know anything about comics, he'll turn into the giant-brained baddie, the leader, and that's what he does. But that hasn't happened in the movies yet. But I mean, I guess that's evil of him to, because actually what he did the whole time that Bruce is sending him his blood for the research, for what he's thinking is, all right, this guy's going to cure me. Burrow's been keeping it, and like remember when he walks into his little lab and he's got tons of Bruce's blood and all the
Right.
samples, and he's been experimenting on it, trying to do more with it than just cure him. So he lied to him the entire time. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's pretty shitty. I mean, to put him that's pretty high on the list considering some of the other villains that have been mentioned. I mean, even I'm better than this fucker. Like, he doesn't even have a hammer. You know, it's not like Dr. Samuel Stearns tried to wipe out humanity or anything like that. Anywho,
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one to talk about. Zemo. David, you like him for a very particular reason.
I do, and the particular reason is that he is one of, I wouldn't say few, but he is definitely one of the elite few that uses brains versus brawn.
Pussy.
To,
Everyone
Exactly.
knows it's stupid.
to be a villain. Basically, he of course we're talking about the dude from Captain America: Civil War. His idea, of course, his backstory is that his family was leveled with a fucking continent in Sokovia.
Yep.
And so he wants to get revenge on the Avengers. The Revengers.
The Revengos.
So he basically has the plan to. I'm fucking describing the synopsis of Captain America: Civil War, and I'm sorry. Basically, I like him because of his technique to turn the Avengers against each other instead of trying to build some massive suit or a bunch of drones or something to send after the Avengers, knowing good and well that it's not going to fucking work. There's too many of them.
How do you kill superpowered people? Make the superpowered people kill themselves.
each other, yeah.
And that's what he did.
And so
And it worked.
Yeah, and so I'd say that I think he's at number 17. I think he deserves to be in the top 10
I agree.
at least, because of the effectiveness of his of what he did in Civil War. Not to mention the fact that we might even see more of him. Like, he's not dead yet; he's in prison. So we might even see more of him in other movies. Maybe not, but
We'll see.
yeah. But yeah, what he did to the Avengers is still there. There's still, all of them are not talking to each other. So apparently his villainy was very effective.
I mean, he broke the Avengers down.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it was.
So, straight up. So, he succeeded in his little plan.
Yes.
So, there it is. After him, we've got Mr. Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's an interesting thing to list him as a villain, because, yeah, he's definitely chasing after Peter Quill for most of that movie, because But he ends up helping them, and then in Guardians 2, he's kind of part of the squad, right?
Yes. In the reason why I love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2 is because you can they're not like Volume 2 doesn't pick up right where Volume 1 left off, but it's not too far after. And I like how you can watch them back to back, and it's almost like one long continuous story, because that story continues on between the interactions between Yondu and Chris Pratt's character
Peter Quill.
Peter Quill. So he kind of in the first 3/4 of the first movie, he definitely comes off as someone who maybe is not a bad guy, but it definitely has
He's
his own.
He's a fucking space pirate, dude. I mean, he's just your classic.
So
He's not of good intent.
Right, but you kind of even watching the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, you see in slow motion him and Rocket walking together. So you kind of get the idea that he's joined back with the Guardians, but they're not necessarily fighting with each other. So so that's not really a spoiler for you. But yeah, I mean, he kind of sort of makes sense on this list. Definitely doesn't need to be number 16.
I wouldn't rate him this high as a villain. As a character, he's one of the better ones that we've had. He's outstanding. But as a villain, I wouldn't put him this high.
Or even on the fucking list at all.
Really, yeah. After that, we've got Obadiah Stane, who is the main. That's Jeff Bridges' character from.
He plays the shit out of this character.
Yeah, from Iron Man 1. He was
arguably one of the best Marvel movies we've seen so far.
Yeah, the original Iron Man.
Right.
Yeah, it was fucking great. But Stane ended up becoming Ironmonger. He stole Tony's
suit idea
and everything, and
made
tried.
It.
And
I made a bigger one.
And now I'm gonna kill you with it.
Now I'm gonna kill you with.
Yeah, but his I liked his villainy as just the cutthroat fucking CEO guy that wants to oust Tony from his position of power and take this company. And then he fucking orders a hit on Tony,
right?
Straight up for business gain. And I thought that was really fucking fucked up. And we're seeing a common theme here is the quality of the perceived quality of these villains is based upon the actor's performance that we've seen.
Right.
You think about, I mean, Loki is made so great because of Tom Hiddleston. We're talking about Jeff Bridges playing the shit out of Obadiah Stane.
Right.
There's been, I mean, even though we just said he wasn't really a villain, but Michael Rooker plays the hell out of Yondu.
Right.
Does a great job with him. And then what's his name? Emil Blonsky is played by Tim Roth.
Yeah.
So it's like I've noticed that everyone that we're like, wow, we really like this person is because the actor does a phenomenal job
right.
as that character.
Exactly.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I would have been even more awesome. Because I am totally awesome. Did you guys see The Hobbit? The elf guy in that is the shit. No, not Legolas. Fuck that guy. Legolas is dad. The real hero of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. He almost fucks everything up really bad. But in the end, he fights on a big horse. And he is cool. All right, I admit it. I'm a terrible villain.
Anyways, moving on to number 14, Brock Rumlow.
I love this version of him so much. Whoa! Oh, God. All right, I'm sorry. Fucking Crossbones, right?
Yeah, Crossbones.
He hates Captain America so much.
He's got a lot of anger built up.
It's probably because he got lit on fire.
Yes, him and the Punisher should get together and go bowling.
No, this version of the Crossbones is a less important version of the comics book one because in comic book, Captain America: The Civil War, Crossbones is the one that shoots Captain America and kills him.
Right.
But in this, he just leads that little attack on the building at the beginning and gets promptly beat the shit up by Cap and then blows himself the fuck up.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Mm-hmm. He looked cool.
Yeah. Number 13, we got Aldrich Killian from Iron Man 3.
I am the sexiest villain on this list.
I'm
gonna fuck you, Gwyneth Paltrow. Look at my fire penis.
What if that's actually the real reason why he decided to be evil, was that Gwyneth Paltrow
said no,
spurned his advances, and he was like, fuck you guys then! I'm gonna light your entire establishment on fire!
No, Guy Pearce talks like this the entire movie. I am Aldrich Killian.
Does he really?
Yeah, look at how
that's how Guy Pearce fucking talks.
With his big mouth.
Yeah.
He just opens up.
I liked Killian as bad scientist man when I still thought he was a lackey to
That's his official villain title is Bad Scientist.
scientist man.
What if they were trying to come up with his
Bad
villain?
scientist
They
man.
write him in the script as that, and they're like, he comes in. All right, I'm gonna be reading as what's my character's name?
That's bad scientist man. Oh, okay. I love that name. It's totally clear on what the guy is going to do. He's bad, he's a man, and he's
He's a
totally a
scientist.
scientist. Bad scientist man. That's amazing. You don't have to have a complicated story arc to be known as a cool villain. You know, sometimes you just need to be blue and have a hammer.
This sounds like Ron Burgundy auditioning for Ronin.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
My problem with Killian is the fact that they fucked up the whole Mandarin thing. I personally did not like that.
Yeah,
so.
we're both on the same page. We understand the reasoning behind it because in the comic books, he's kind of a racist piece of shit, and it's kind of been established that it wouldn't really translate well in this political climate.
Yeah.
Having such a
I don't know.
racist-
Or you could have just not done that and made him the bad guy with the magic rings.
right.
That's why he's cool. Is he's the complete opposite of Stark in the fact that Stark is technology and Mandarin's like fucking magic.
Right.
So I don't know. Killian's okay until they were like, oh, he's the Mandarin now. I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah, they. I don't know. Like I said, we're on the same page with that. I loved the movie up until that point when I found out that that was kind of the big reveal was that the Mandarin wasn't the Mandarin. It was just a front for whatever they were doing behind the curtains. And I was just like everyone was like laughing and cheering and stuff, and they were all like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And I was like, "This is lame. Like I don't like.
Yeah.
I just underwhelming."
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways,
I think he's too high on this list.
I would agree.
Next, we have Ulysses Claw, which we haven't seen a whole lot of because of just his little screen time, but he will be one of the main villains of the Black Panther movie, which I'm very excited for. But what excites me even more, we talk about good actors playing roles. We got fucking Andy
absolutely.
Serkis.
Who has been everyone all the time ever?
Oh my god, he is I mean, if you guys don't know who Andy Serkis is, I'm sorry.
He does the mocap for
Anything ever?
everything.
Yeah, Gollum, fucking the Planet of the Apes,
Yeah.
and
All of them.
King Kong when Peter Jackson made the King Kong movie
Yeah.
back in the day, and then he did Snoke and the voice of Supreme Leader Snoke in Star Wars now, and probably everything else ever. He
Yeah.
does a lot. Look
Just
up
look him
Andy
up
Serkis'
on
IMDb.
IMDb.
It's sick.
Yeah.
And his voice acting is phenomenal too. So
Right.
it's fun to see him actually be real life in a movie, which he has been before, but it's fun to.
He's got a killer neck beard. He could.
He
could cosplay as Lincoln if he was a little bit taller.
I am Tiny Lincoln.
I am Lincoln. I wouldn't have gotten shot in that theater because the shooter would have had to actually aim down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Lincoln.
right.
That was kind of.
But I think he's high on this list because he does do some pretty fucked up shit in Wakanda in the comics, and he is one of Black Panther's main villains. So perhaps he earns his spot on this list based on his reputation and not so much what he's done so far.
Right.
So we'll see. All right. So we got Aisha
Yep.
from Guardians 2.
Yeah, she also, I think that she should be moved farther up the list, closer to 40, not necessarily at 40, but she definitely shouldn't be at 11 right now because she wasn't even the main antagonist really in Guardians Volume 2. She was an antagonist, but she wasn't the main one. And since this list applied the logic to Thanos, as in Thanos, yes, he's evil, but he hasn't done much yet. therefore he sits at what was it, like 28 or something like that. I think they should apply the same logic to her because she really hasn't done much yet.
I don't like her because she's gold. She's not blue. It's not as cool.
Right. So yeah, I mean, she did kind of order a hit on all the Guardians, which would have started some real shit with the Nova Corps, considering that the Guardians kind of now they don't work for the Nova Corps, but you know
They're bros with them.
yeah, they're bros, and the Nova Corps would have had some real beef with these gold people. I think all these people were affected by an unfortunate schmelting accident.
Out of nowhere comes Goldmember.
Right? I love gold.
Oh my god.
Anyways, moving on. Number 10, Justin Hammer.
I love Justin Hammer.
You know what? I don't speak Russian.
His outbursts. He is the biggest. He's as big of a narcissist as Tony Stark is. But he just kind of sucks. He's a less intelligent version of Stark.
Right.
He builds weapons and they look good
Yeah.
and they can do some shit, but then they just kind of suck.
Did you watch any of the special features from Iron Man 2?
No.
They actually had, I can't remember if it was Jon Favreau himself or someone else. They had, Sam Rockwell wore a little Bluetooth earpiece for the scene where he's giving War Machine all his weapons.
Okay.
And, you know, he's just rapid fire naming off all those weapons. He couldn't memorize all those weapons, so someone was telling him the name of all those weapons in real time when he was talking them.
God.
So basically, when you see that scene, or when you're watching that scene, rather, he's like someone's feeding him those lines. So like, yes, he couldn't memorize all those lines, and I fucking couldn't either. But it's amazing that he was able to spit them out as someone was saying to them.
And deliver a performance.
Right.
Right.
And also I relate to him on a personal level because he's got a sweet tooth. He likes his dessert first. And I should be like 400 pounds with the amount of sweets that I eat.
That's funny.
So I feel like if he wasn't so goddamn evil, well, he's not really evil. I
No,
guess
he's
just an
morally
asshole.
he's morally douchey.
Corrupt? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we could be bros. Maybe could teach me a little bit about guns because I know next to nothing about guns. Anyways, number 9, another Guardians villain is Ego.
The living planet.
Yes, the planets.
I do know some things about him, so you're not gonna spoil it for me. I mean,
Okay.
I know the one big thing is that he's the one that gave his mom cancer.
Yep.
Why? Well, I didn't want to get distracted.
Yes.
What the fuck, dude? You killed my mom.
That is what happened. He is a grade A. He could. I think it's safe to say he would win the Worst Dad of the Year award.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Like Darth Vader's over in the corner going, God, what a dick.
When Darth Vader thinks you're a dick, then it's time to pack your shit up and leave. I think.
I love Kurt Russell though.
Yeah, Kurt Russell is. They did in the beginning of the movie, the first scene, they did some that digital regeneration with his face to make him look a little bit younger.
Oh.
Which, in my opinion, it was pretty good.
Now hold on, did they? Because I thought I read a thing that said that they
just use makeup.
Yeah, that they just did. They didn't do that.
I guess that's possible. To me, it looked like they did some digital, whatever you want to call it, that made him look a little bit younger.
Did you know that Kurt Russell was the last words that Walt Disney ever spoke?
Why is that?
He had, or no, maybe it wasn't spoke, but like he had a note on his desk that just said Kurt Russell when he died. He was a child actor at that point.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
There's a little trivia for you.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
cool beans. Number 8 on the list is Nebula. She's kind of a badass.
I love her. She's consistently getting in their shit in the first Guardians movie. Has
Right.
a good sword fight thing with Gamora and has a personal vendetta against her because of the relationship they had with Thanos, as far as being the daughters of Thanos, and Gamora was always favored over her, and Nebula got kind of bitchy about that. But now, obviously, after Guardians 2, you've got her wanting to kill Thanos with her and with Gamora and being on that train, so that is why she wants to help them. But yeah, she's a badass.
She
certifiable.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, she definitely deserves to be on this list. I don't know if she deserves number 8 because where Guardians Volume 2 left off, you kind of got the impression that she might not necessarily be always a bad guy, always a villain. She might kind of turn maybe amoral, or at least have her wishes to end Thanos are definitely parallel to the future wishes of the Avengers to want to end Thanos before Thanos ends them. So I'll be interested to see if she plays a future role in that storyline.
Oh, yeah.
For the Avengers.
She'll be around.
Yeah, cool. So 7, the Mandarin.
God bless America.
We've said plenty about this guy.
Let's put him at number 1 because it's completely, he's the villain of everything because it's fucking dumb. No, you know what though? I remember at the time laughing at what they did. When I'm watching the movie, I'm like, oh my god, is that what this is?
Right.
Like the Mandarin is, just this little bullshit actor guy. Okay, that's funny. But when I thought about it more, I'm like, we could have had the Mandarin. We could have had somebody do a reimagining of him. If you're worried about the racism thing, just fix it up a little bit and reinvent him. It's your fucking movie. Like Marvel, just make it better.
Yeah.
I think we missed out on an opportunity to have the rings and everything and have that kind of confrontation.
I think so too. I think they I mean, obviously Marvel's not shy about reimagining antagonists, protagonists, kind of deviating from the comic books. So I think that they could have done something like that to where they kind of skipped around some of the racy stuff in the comic books. So yeah, so we'll kind of move past him since we've said a lot about him. Number 6 is Ultron.
Skynet. I mean Ultron. Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to end you. This feels wrong. I can't do a great Spader impression.
Ultron he looked great, and James Spader did what he could with the voice acting, and it sounded good. The whole time I'm like, so he wants to make more machines to kill all the humans. This is Terminator. This is just Terminator again.
Right.
He was very okay for me. He looked neat and he could do some neat things, and when he was ultimately, the fact that he could be in any of his little clones that he made, so if one survives, then he survives. Like, that's kind of scary. But again, if you're talking about interesting, dynamic, multi-layered villain, this is a fucking Terminator. This is Skynet. This is the same thing we saw in Terminator 2.
He looks like a Terminator, at least in the body. I'm looking at a picture right now, and yeah, he looks like a Terminator. Yeah. So
I guess he's rated high because he wants to kill everybody, but that's a lot of villains that want to do that.
Yeah.
So
number 5, we got the Winter Soldier.
Fuck yeah.
Now, I guess I was reading before we started the podcast. I was reading some of the comments on this list, and quite a few people were upset that the Winter Soldier / Bucky Barnes was on this list to begin with.
I'm upset about it because I am not higher on the list, and this douchebag is, and he's not even a villain. Nor is he blue. Damn it.
People are upset because he doesn't fit the true definition of villain. He's He's just a person who is under the control of Hydra.
Yeah, it's tragic that, I mean, again, I still call him a villain because he's the main villain of this, and when he's brainwashed, he's gonna kill everyone.
Yeah, I mean, he's still yes, we understand that he is under the direction of Hydra, but he does still do the bad things.
Just because he's a sympathetic character doesn't unmake him as a villain.
Right. So for the sake of argument, we're going to say that he deserves to be on this list. And I think he deserves his rank as high as 5. Because he's a fucking badass.
He's the first one that you see. I mean, when in the trailer for Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, when he catches Captain America's shield and just looks at him like, "What up, punk?"
Right.
Like, oh, damn, okay. And then, obviously, he's incredibly proficient with all of his weaponry, and then his metal arm thing is badass, and he is unquestioningly, because of the brainwashing, unquestioningly loyal drone that is just programmed like, hey, kill this person, done. Like, it's gonna get done.
Right.
And that's what's scary about it. And I remember when Nick Fury is driving his car and he's evading the other Hydra agents and stuff like that, and then when you see Winter Soldier walking up slowly on the thing, I'm like, oh, he's fucked.
Right.
Like, this is done.
The smoke clears and you just see him and you're like, well, it was nice knowing Nick Fury. Like, I was totally convinced that Nick Fury was gonna die.
Yeah, and he still got fucking, I mean, he obviously didn't die, but he still got fucked up. And then when he got away from him that time, he tracked him down and fucking sniped him. Like, he was like, I'm not letting this motherfucker go.
Right.
Whether, and now that Bucky is, well, actually they put Bucky back to sleep again. That's right. At the end of that, because he doesn't, and that was by his own choice. He's like,
right.
Until we can figure out how to fix me, I cannot be allowed out,
Right.
and that's very noble of him, being as he will eventually, if they do it, he is Captain America for a while. In the comics, he uses a gun.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
And then next is crusty ass Robert Redford, also known as Alexander Pierce. Alexander Pierce, if you don't remember, was the one of the leaders of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, who turned out to be a Hydra agent all along, and his badness was he turned S.H.I.E.L.D. Against Captain America, and he totally was the mastermind behind the whole Hydra situation, taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. at that time, and wanted to utilize Zola's algorithm to kill all those people using the weapons on the fucking airships. So, and then, Sam Jackson shot him. So that's good. There's that. But it was a neat turn to see him, because you're led to believe that this is one of, talk about a deep double agent there. He had everyone convinced he was a good guy, including Nick Fury, for a long fucking time. I mean, they went way back.
Right.
And he's been undermining them the entire time. So that's pretty villainous, to work his way through S.H.I.E.L.D. to reach such a level of importance and power. I mean, he had access to fucking everything, and he turned S.H.I.E.L.D. into Hydra, basically.
Right.
So that's insane. I mean, he broke S.H.I.E.L.D. is what he did. So that's pretty good. I think he deserves to be high. I don't know, put him at number 4, but He's definitely deserves to be higher up on the list.
I'll agree that he deserves to be high. He's kind of the brains versus brawn type situation that we saw with the other dude.
We're gonna skip over Zola computer version because we already talked about that.
Right.
Number 2, and I absolutely agree with him being high on this, and I wish he was still actively involved in the movies. The Red Skull from Captain America: The Winter Soldier, brilliantly played by Hugo Weaving. And I'm like beside myself where when he disappeared because of the Tesseract at the end of Captain America: The First Avenger, I was like, please fucking tell me that he's going to come back at some point, because that is one of the big bads in Captain America, and he is a consistent thorn in the side of Cap and the Avengers going forward, and we haven't seen him since then. Now, I don't know if that has something to do with maybe Hugo Weaving just not wanting to do it.
I did, when I was doing research for this episode, like you said, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but it turns out that Hugo Weaving had less of a fantastic time as his playing his role in the
Maybe
MCU.
the makeup and everything, or
I didn't read too in depth into the article. I just kind of read some of the bullet points, basically saying that he didn't fully enjoy his time when he was playing that character, or when he was in the MCU. So you can do your own research, figure out why.
Well, maybe why.
So maybe that's why. But never say never. Could see him again.
Well, then of course, number one is Loki, and I would agree. Loki is the best performed villain we've seen in the MCU so far. He is. I mean, Tom Hiddleston puts on a clinic as this guy. Like, you almost root for him because he's so cool. So
yeah,
I've loved every second of him. What makes Loki cool too is, like, again, you want to root for him. So like in Thor 2, where he's helping Thor and they're doing the buddy cop shit for a while.
Yeah.
And then when he is seemingly dead, which, I mean, I knew that was kind of bullshit anyway,
Yeah.
but like, you're like, oh no, fuck, like, don't kill Loki. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want, it's like the one villain, like, no, hold on a second now. Don't kill him. Let's keep him around. And his little spinny tricks with the daggers that he does in the Thor 3 Ragnarok trailer. Like,
so excited.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I mean, he has been our longest tenured villain throughout this entire MCU, and he is one of the most popular characters, if not the most popular character, arguably, in the entire thing. So this is he absolutely deserves his list at number one. He's the mischievous motherfucker that keeps the Avengers on their toes for sure.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to bring up one more thing, if I can.
Absolutely.
Here, we've gone through this entire list, and the one thing that sticks out to me that is unfortunate is villains that could be on this list that aren't because of the status of who owns the film rights to certain comic book properties. It's sad that we can't talk about Magneto on this list because he's owned by 20th Century Fox as far as the film rights. We can't talk about Doctor Doom, who is, I mean, if there is the Marvel villain who gets mixed up in the most bullshit, it's him. And I mean, he's a consistent, terrifying villain for not just the Fantastic Four, but for everybody else.
Right.
And because of film rights and everything, I think Marvel Studios and the MCU suffers from not having these guys, because that could just, the stories you could tell with them and have much more. You talk about menacing, endearing, cool bad guys. I mean, that's some of them right there that they just don't have access to. So they're kind of left with this other shit.
I'll agree with that.
Instead of Malekith, maybe we could have gotten something better for that. I don't know. Anything, it's just, hopefully someday, in the same kind of spirit that Sony was able to allow Spider-Man to be a part of the MCU with Marvel, maybe something eventually can be worked out to where we can start to see some cross friendship between studios again, because I think it's just a shame, especially for the fans. The fact that I can't see the X-Men and the Avengers team up is like, it sucks, because, well, at one point Wolverine and Spider-Man were a part of the new Avengers. And so we just don't get to have that because of the status of everything. So, but all in all, I mean, there's, out of that giant list that we just talked about, there's probably less than 10 that were like, yeah, that one's awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess we could say that is completely based upon the performance that we saw out of that actor who just really killed it for that role. So yeah, man, we made it through all of them.
Yeah.
Good job.
Go us.
It was good. It was some bad guys and
I am the greatest of all of them. That's what you forgot to mention, is because I'm the big blue baddie, and my penis.
Tell me, does Dr. Manhattan have a hammer? Or black eyes?
Well,
no, he's got white eyes.
And I mean, you could argue that possibly his hammer is his penis, but shut up. Damn it.
What if Dr. Manhattan just just made his dick bigger.
That was his power.
Right.
Not
That was his power.
not manipulating matter, reality, and space, but just I have a huge penis. I don't know.
What if? Oh man, I was gonna say something super dirty.
Oh.
Just like penetrated some chick and like his dick like went so deep it like just blew out the top of her head.
Maybe he should be the #1 villain on this list.
Like just fucking wreck every chick.
Oh my god. On that note.
Yeah, that's gonna do it for us for this episode. I hope you enjoyed us discussing all these villains. If you have anything to say in contradiction to what we have said, or if you've liked anything that we've said, please hit us up on our Facebook, Twitter. You can email us. All our shit is on our website. Go look it up. It's the best website. It's the best ever, and I made Andrew pay for it.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge. It's great. What are we talking about?
I don't even know anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you on the flippity flip. Thank you.
Goodbye.